Alright guys, gotta talk about this little beast, the Samyang 10mm f2.8. This lens is seriously impressive, especially for the price. If you're into landscapes, astrophotography, or just want to capture some really dramatic shots, listen up. First off, this thing is wide. We're talking a 10mm focal length, which on a crop sensor Canon gives you an equivalent field of view of about 16mm. That's super wide, perfect for capturing those sweeping vistas or cramming a whole building into your frame. Think epic landscapes, tight interiors, or even some creative, distorted shots. Now, one of the things that really impressed me is the image quality. Samyang has packed this lens with some serious glass. They've got a nano crystal coating system, which they claim reduces reflections and boosts light transmission. In real-world terms, that means sharper images with less ghosting and flare. And honestly, in my testing, it holds up. Images are surprisingly crisp, even at the edges, which is a common problem with ultra-wide lenses. They've also thrown in some aspherical and extra-low dispersion elements to minimize distortions and chromatic aberrations. Again, for the price, the image quality you get out of this lens is fantastic. Another big plus is the fast f2.8 aperture. This is great for low-light shooting, allowing you to keep your ISO down and get cleaner images. It also gives you some nice shallow depth of field if you want to isolate your subject, even with such a wide lens. The build quality is pretty solid too. It feels nice and sturdy in the hand, although it's mostly plastic. The focus ring is smooth and dampened, which makes manual focusing a breeze. And speaking of manual focus, this lens is fully manual. No autofocus here. For some, that might be a deal breaker, but honestly, with a lens this wide, it's not a huge issue. It's pretty easy to get everything in focus, especially at smaller apertures. The close focusing distance is also worth mentioning. You can get as close as 9.5 inches, which opens up some really cool creative possibilities. Think close-ups with a dramatically distorted perspective. Now, let's talk about some potential downsides. As I mentioned, it's manual focus only. Also, there's some noticeable vignetting wide open, but that's easily corrected in post. And while the distortion is well controlled for a lens this wide, it's still there, especially if you're shooting straight lines. Overall, the Samyang 10mm f2.8 is an incredible value. It's a fantastic budget-friendly option for anyone looking to get into ultra-wide-angle photography. The image quality is surprisingly good, the build is solid, and the fast aperture is a huge bonus. If you can live without autofocus, this lens is definitely worth checking out. It's a fun, creative tool that can really expand your photographic horizons.
Check out the video description for updated price. And thank you for watching this video.